Okay, so if we look back at these checkpoint questions in Internet and World Wide Web, just a moment. Okay, right. Provide your own definition of what Internet is. Right? How do you define Internet?
So it's a system of worldwide computer networks.
Yeah, it's a collection of millions of computers, servers, and other devices around the world, right? It's a global network. It's a global network of computers, servers, communication links, other devices such as routers, switches. All these things collectively known as internet. And internet is the largest network in the world. And by now, you know that it's a mesh network. Provide a definition of what the World Wide Web is and add an explanation of how it is different from internet. How do you answer that? How do you answer that? First, a definition of World Wide Web. What can you say?
So World Wide Web is a information system on the internet which allows documents to be connected to other documents by hypertext links.
All right. So we can first say that World Wide Web is an internet service. It's the main internet service, and it works on top of internet. And it is a collection of millions of web pages and websites that are interlinked. So it operates on top of internet. It operates on top of TCP/IP protocol. It is the main web service. How is it different from internet? It is the soft side of internet, and it is running on top of internet, and it is hosted on web servers. What happens when you enter a web address into the web browser? Well, you know, web address, when you enter to the browser, the domain name that is there in the web address will have to be resolved. So the web browser will contact a DNS, a domain name service. So the DNS will look at the domain name and it will look at its DNS lookup to find the corresponding IP address. If it can't find the corresponding IP address, if it can't resolve the IP address, it will search for another DNS. And once it is resolved, it will be sent back. The IP address will send back to the web browser, where the web browser will use the IP address to locate the web server. And after that, the web server will send the requested web page to the client, which is the web browser. So the IP address and the request is sent as an HTTP request from the web browser to the web server. That's what happens when you enter the web address to the web browser. Why IP addressing standards are needed? Well, internet is a global network, and these devices are made by different companies, different manufacturers. But in order to use the internet services, we need the devices to talk to each other, irrespective of their brand and their make. So the standards make them create a common platform for them to communicate. And this is where IP addressing is important, because IP address is used to locate the resources in different places in the internet. So all these devices should agree to a common IP standard. That's how you justify your answer, right? Don't just write it briefly. Just come to the point, direct, step by step. In your own words, outline the role of all the protocols used when requesting a web page from a web server. Yeah, so this is about requesting a web page from a web server. That is the client-server interaction between the browser and the web server. Well, the role of all the protocols. HTTP protocol is required to send a request to the server requesting the web page. Then, if you are sending, and now this is a web page, no? Like if it is to access a web mail, right? If you are going to access a web mail, first you need to access the web page, like Gmail web page. That's where HTTP comes in. And if you log into your email and send emails through that web mail service, then SMTP will be involved, because you are going to send emails. If you are receiving emails, IMAP will be involved. And then all these protocols are working on top of internet. So, internet is based on TCP IP. Then the TCP IP protocol is needed. And that is where the data are ultimately broken down into data packets. And they are added with packet headers. And then these are routed to various paths to the destination. And at the destination end, the data packets get reconstructed in the correct order. Okay? Understand? Why do you think the internet and World Wide Web are so embedded in modern life? That's an easy question, right? So you have to relate it to our day-to-day life. Well, you can say that people often misuse these two terms. They have a misconception. They are so dependent on World Wide Web because we access many services, internet services through World Wide Web, such as checking emails, checking information, bookings, performing transactions. All are done using websites. So we mainly use internet to access World Wide Web. So we interchange. We are so dependent on these services, and we think that it's World Wide Web, which is internet. But they are two different terms, and World Wide Web is the main web service, main internet service. It's so embedded in our modern life because every day in one way or another, we interact with the World Wide Web for some kind of work. And you can give some examples. And it provides us information in real time. And we can have access to these systems wherever we go, because it's portable. It gives portable access to internet and World Wide Web. What are the roles of a switch, a wireless access point, a router, and a modem in a network? And you know that we have a device which combines all these into one, which is the router now, which is the wireless router or the Wi-Fi router. But if you look at the specific components that it combines. The switch, the role of the switch is to connect all the computers and servers together in a star network, star topology network. And it acts as a central component connecting all the devices. And switch is an intelligent device which looks at the packet header and delivers the data packets to the right recipient without broadcasting. So it manages the data traffic and it makes the communication more efficient in a LAN. Wireless access point makes the wired network available in wireless form by creating an access, creating a hotspot. Creating a hotspot, we are able to connect to the wireless network through the access point. Just a minute. Right. Okay. Yeah, the wireless access point allows us to connect to the wireless network, Wi-Fi network, and also if the internet connection is provided through the wireless network, Wi-Fi network, we can access internet through the wireless access point. And it is also used to extend the wireless network to a large area. Then the router, router is its main job is to do the routing of data packets. So when data packets arrive at the router, it looks at the most efficient, most shortest path, and then it delivers the data packets through that path. And then it goes to another router, and then it will be forwarded to another router. Likewise, it goes to the destination. Apart from that, router combines functions of the switch, access point, and a modem together. And the router is the device which connects us to the ISP. Then the modem's job is to connect the network to a telephone link, because we need a public telecommunication system if we are to access internet or connect to internet, connect to a wide area network. So the modem's job is to connect to a telephone, like a public telecommunication network, either in wired or wireless form. Okay, understood.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so shall we attempt some questions here? Right. So can you take your exercise book and write the answer for this one? In 2 minutes, we'll discuss this one. A bank wants to use a bank wants to share data between head office and its 400 branches. Explain why the bank would use a WAN rather than a LAN for this purpose. So it's an explain type question. 2 marks given. You can't just write a point there, right? If you write a point, you have to justify, right? You have to say like, oh, okay, it's like this because of this, something like that. Then only you get 2 marks, right? State the purposes of the following layers: application, transport, and data link layer. Okay, what is missing here? Which layer is missing here? Yeah. What are the 4 layers and what is the layer missing here? We have application, transport, and data link. What is the layer missing here? Yeah. Hello.
So,
What is the layer missing
is it,
here?
so is it a physical layer?
Physical layer. Physical layer. Uh, it's a network layer, no? Network or internet layer. So remember the 4 layers, right? A, D, N, D, right? Application, transport, network or internet, link or data link. Okay. In fact, the physical layer comes here. The physical network, the network interface card, the communication links come here. Okay, so this is missing. I don't know why they didn't include that. Maybe they wanted only these three. State the purposes of the following layers. Okay, right. I'll give you 2 minutes. Can you write your answers in your Access book? Then we'll discuss quickly. If you have finished, tell me, yeah? Then you can cross-check the answers.
Okay, sir.
Finish?
So in the second question, explain what do you call it, stating the purpose of transport layer, sir. Still need to do transport layer and data link layer.
Okay, okay. Right. Anyway, we'll discuss, right? You check your answers and write where necessary. You can write it in your textbook even. Okay. So first of all, here, wait. Right. So in this one, a bank wants to share data between the head office and its 400 branches. Explain why the bank would use a van rather than a LAN for the purpose. So first of all, you can talk about the bank, right? Branches, they can't be in the same city. There are 400 branches, right? So I'll write just the points, okay? You have to put it into an answer. 400 branches should be spanned across cities and countries even. Uh, van covers a large geographical area. Mm, why the bank use a van rather than land for this purpose? Mm, you can also say there are public telecommunication networks available to provide access to vans. Okay. Um, it's a very Silly question, no? Because you can't use a LAN, right? When you have branches like this. And they are asking why bank would use a WAN rather than a LAN. So the bank can easily connect its uh, individual so 400 branches should be spanned over cities and countries even. WAN is ideal because covers a large geographical area like cities and countries, and it relies on a public telecommunication network, whereas LAN is confined to a small geographical area. So in this scenario, we can't use a LAN. State the purposes of the following layers application. Okay, we'll take each layer. Application layer. This interacts with the user. Interacts with the user through application software such as web browser, email clients. And if you write the protocols used in this layer, they will be HTTP, FTP, what else? All the email protocols, SMTP, HOP, IMAP, and even DHCP, right? DHCP, DNS, they all work in this layer, right? What is the next layer? Transport, right? What are the two protocols we saw in transport layer? Transport layer.
So UDP and TCP.
Yes, TCP and UDP, right? Very good. So this decides the type of data distributing method. Right? Or you can say level of service. Example products TCP, TCP, and UDP. For this book, of course, you need to know about TCP. right? Then the next layer is internet or network. Job of this layer is to break the data into packets, right? Creates data packets, add header details. You know what is included in the header now. Details into each packet. It does more. This is also responsible for routing the information. Routing information. That means it handles the routing information. Handles routing information. Right. So this is where the router comes in. Router works in this layer, right? Mm. So this basically prepares the data packets to be sent, right? Prepares the data packets. Prepares the data packets, right? Okay. Then the final layer. This is the physical layer actually. Is the network layer or the data link layer. Sorry, not network. Link layer or data link. Decides how the data packets are sent over the physical medium. See, power goes again and again over the physical medium. Using electrical, light, and wireless medium, wireless signals. Okay. The common protocols used in this layer includes right. The common protocols used in this layer includes Ethernet, right, which is the wired protocol, right? Ethernet protocol. Understand?
Yes, sir. Just a minute. Power came back. Okay. Yeah. So those are the purposes of each layer. And in this one, Internet network protocol, network layer, the protocol applies is
IP protocol. This layer gets the IP protocol, right? Right. Right. We look at one more question. Right. This one, a small business. These are simple network diagrams. Right? A small business has a network consisting of three computers, one printer, and a server. So they haven't mentioned what these computers are, right? Whether they are laptops or desktops. So that means we have the freedom of selecting what we want. The network uses a star topology. Draw a diagram of the network and label all the parts. Right. Can you do it really fast? And can you share it in the group? Just share it in the group for others to
Okay,
see.
sir.
Right. Finish?
Sir,
Complete
finish drawing, just labeling, sir.
labeling, right? So don't take
Yeah.
much time for this kind of thing, right? So easy. A small business has a network consisting of it. Check your answer. I will also draw it. So it's a star topology. So in a star topology, you need to have a central device, which is the switch. Remember, all these devices had to be labeled, and one printer is there. So they haven't mentioned whether it's a IP printer or a local printer, but if you want, you can draw it either way, doesn't matter. So I'm going to draw an IP printer. IP printer is connected directly to the switch.
Should it be in order or it
No,
can
no,
be in
no,
any order?
any order. IP printer, right? Then there should be a server. So I'm going to connect a server to this. And three computers. So let's change it a bit, right? We'll uh, we'll say like there are two PCs, desktop computers, and one laptop, right? So that we can see how we can connect a Wi-Fi access point also, right? So one laptop, two PCs. Sorry, yeah, one laptop and two PCs. So here's the PC. Now to connect the laptop, you need to have an access point. So I'm going to connect an access point to this one, the switch. Draw the wireless signals. This is wireless access point. And now we can have a laptop. Draw the signals. Right. So two PCs needed, no? Two PCs. Here's another PC. That's all. No? A server, a printer, switch, two PCs, an access point, and a laptop. Okay. Now remember, you need to identify the connections as well, right? So these connections will be Ethernet connections, and this will be Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi. That's how we do it. Easy, right? But remember, all the parts should be labeled, or everything should be there. Even the signals have to be identified, right?
Okay, sir.
Okay, let me give you homework. Actually, like in the coming week, I'm going to have more online classes, right? In physical class, also now we can do the papers. In online class, also we'll do the papers. Okay, including practicals, right?
Okay, sir.
This is for homework. Keep them answered. Yeah, those are the questions. Okay, keep them answered for homework, right? Okay, then see you in the next class.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Bye,
Okay,
sir.
yeah, see you.